Are we all happy campers?
Oh yeah.
Yes. All happy. Happy, 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 happy.
I'll be happy when we get to the top of this hill. Good afternoon. Well, we're back into the woods. I'm with Mark and also with, where's my finger? Can't see, look in the camera. There. With Roy, otherwise known as the Scarecrow.
It's on the end of your hand.
Yeah, he's there somewhere. We decided to go for a new camp location today to make a change. And also it is a bit wet. It's not raining properly, but it's that misty, damp, horrible, drizzly stuff. So we've come up into a different section of pines. Never camped in this section before. And there is an old camp here. How well you see that at that angle. Looks like someone started to build a bushcraft sort of style lean-to shelter. Now we spotted this probably a year or so ago. And it's always just looked like that. Someone started, never came back and finished. So they obviously aren't that worried about it. So that is going to be our supply of wood for this evening. That saves a bit of cutting, just trim it to size. Right, I'll get set up. See you in a minute. Right, that's the first stage sorted out. Got the under blanket because it's going to be chilly overnight and cold in the morning according to the forecast. It's the first time I've actually used it with the DD XL, which is sort of why I bought it, but I've just never paired them up. Fits okay. Of course the XL's got the bug net, which you can't remove completely, so I'm just not putting the hoops in, leaving it in the bottom, sleeping bag on top. That'll be absolutely fine. I've also got the matching tarp, which I'm going to stick over the top now. I did consider bringing the sleeping bag, but you probably know my views on the DD Dura 2. I like the sleeping bag, it's just not warm enough, so I brought my army bag instead. And there we go, all set up. Look how bright that underside that tarp looks. Or is it the camera? Let me adjust it a little bit. That's a bit better. It's difficult in here because it is quite dark under these trees. Now, I'm all set up with the British Army bag. So I'm going to be snug warm. There's no doubt about that. The only downside is initially, rather than triangle, I was going to have the tarp square. And that's why I picked the spot and the location of the trees, etc. Didn't quite work out like that. Ended up going diamond. And then, of course, everything else is in the wrong bloody place. So this corner, I've had to run this guy line around that twig there, because I needed the line to come off the side of the tree rather than the centre, because it was the only way I could get it sort of lined up straight. The other side is even more of a dog's breakfast. Bloody great tree right in the way, because this side was going to be open. So I've had to sort of squeeze it around the side of that tree and just sort of bungee it as straight as possible. It's not perfect, but it'll do the job and it'll keep the rain off. So that's close enough. For one night, does it matter? As long as you stay dry, not really. Well, that's a proper autumn scene for you. All the leaves have come down. This is just on the edge of the piece we're in. As you'll see as I go around. Now we're blending in fairly well. But where's my finger there? There's Roy, his hammock. Mark's got his bivvy there with a tarp over it. And well, you can't see mine from here because I'm sort of directly behind that tree. But I'll walk you in this way. I'm not sure whether the camera will cope with the change in the lighting. I might have to jiggle with it. We've all got set up. We're just sitting down having a chat and a beer, and then we get on with some firewood. But yeah, Roy's hunkered down nice and low here. He's got the compound hammock with his under blanket, so he should be toasty in there. That's going to be the fire pit area where we're sitting there. and Mark's there with the gear top bivvy. He's got the basher over the top of it, not because it leaks, but it's just he hasn't got much room for drying stuff out, so it's easy just to hang the tarp out to dry rather than a bivvy if we do get any heavy rain. Although in here it's fairly thick, so that's going to keep the worst of it off, hopefully. And there's me just over in the corner there.
It's always good fun adjusting the tarp, isn't it?
Just had a walk a bit further up the valley. I've never been up this part of the woods. I mean, this is a massive woodland, so it's not surprised I haven't sort of covered all of it. Although I've been coming in here years. I spin you around, angle you down a bit. You can't see from here, but sort of centre a shot there. The other side of all this normal deciduous woodland is where the pines start, and we're only about sort of 10 feet in from the edge, so it's not too dark, but we're well covered. It's actually quite nice looking across the valley from up here. Climbed a bit higher and I found another path. Now there is no public footpaths in here, but someone has been through recently. Looking at that, through that way. I'm guessing it's the landowner. I know they've got horses, so maybe this is the route that they exercise their horses, which is a shame because there's actually some nice looking spots up around here on the higher ground, so it'd be a better place for camping this winter. You know, elevation wise, I've come up a hell of a lot. You can't even see where we're camping. We're right down that bank, probably 20 or 30 meters lower. It doesn't sound much, but it actually makes quite a difference with the temperature. But yeah, I'm gonna have to explore up here, definitely. Next time I've got a day off and it's nice weather, I'm going to come in here, now I know, and explore down that path and up into here. See what it's like up in there. We always love a bit of new ground. Right, let's make my way back down off this ridge. It's funny, I've been sort of this area, but never quite come up this bank. I only get an old unmanaged woodland like this, and it seems to change every 30-40 metres. There's always something new to see. Now, which way did I come up with it? Wasn't too thick. Down this way, I think. Okay, that looks familiar. I don't know whether it shows on camera, but we're dropping down all the time. I'm going to go down into the bottom of the valley there and into the pines. So yeah, let's get down there. That's where I was, right at the top there. Drop back down into here. And if you can see in there, you can see the light. I think it's Mark's phone. Oh, it's just disappeared. I say we're only literally 15 feet into the woodland, but it's so dark in those pines. You disappear nicely. Well, there you go. This is the scene in camp. We're all making a brew by torchlight because it's bloody near pitch black dark, and it is 4:20.
Tragic, isn't it? Look out there.
Yeah, the joys of this time of year. That's how dark it is in the pines. Pretty dark. If I swing to the edge there, you see there's still a bit of daylight out in the more open ground there. Yeah. But no, in here, pretty dark. Yes. Torches on at this time of day. Bloody winter. Right, as it's a bit of a damp weekend, I've brought a fire log. Cheating. Well, yeah, some people would say cheating. Other people would just say that's using your head when all the tinder's damp and horrible. But yeah, so I brought the old fire log. I'll be putting a match to that in a minute and getting the fire going because it's a bit damp and a bit dark. So a fire will make us feel better, quite simply. I'll do a short bit of video and I can just nick a frame out of it. Oh, fuck!
You almost did an Andy.
The fucking chair come unhooked in the corner.
Or did it break?
No, come unhooked. Oh. I thought I was going head first into the bloody fire.
I'm so impressed with my chair. I've had it ages now. It's like,
and it's still your favourite piece of equipment.
Yeah, it's just like I'm so glad I bought one now.
Yeah, I've had this one probably only the second time I used it, but it's so comfy.
Yeah, they are bloody good for what they are, aren't they?
It's like 25 quid or whatever it was.
All of ours are slightly different, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all same sort of design, but they just add bits on, don't they, make themselves a bit different.
Yeah.
But I love it, it's such a comfortable little chair.
Ideal. The only thing I find is they're a little bit low, because I've got such long legs. I either have to have the legs straight out,
yeah, or you're sat like this,
or like this, and it makes my knees ache. But you being shorter, it's probably perfect for you.
I love it.
Surprised his feet touch the ground.
No.
Dear me. Yeah, when we all pack up and walk out of here, I'll put Roy in my pocket and we'll walk out. Okay, I've waited long enough. It's time for dinner. And today we have a bit of ribeye, which I oiled and seasoned at home, so I didn't have to bring oil with me. And also some button mushrooms that I did at home with some olive oil, seasonal, and a little bit of chopped up garlic. So that should be nice. Looking forward to this. Garlic mushrooms, brilliant. Right, you join us with Mark eating his very, very spicy soup type thing. Is it a bit hot, Mark?
Yeah, and then I added chili sauce to it. It was already hot to start with, apparently. I didn't read it properly.
Is your face numb yet?
My lips have gone numb.
Really nice stuff going as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite hot. The sleeping bag is going to be warm tonight, I tell ya.
It's when your ears start tingling and the heat rushes right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like now, where are we?
25 to 9.
Yeah, 25 to 9, but yeah, it's already been dark for 5 hours, isn't it?
Yeah. The other week we were yawning our fucking heads off at this time, weren't we?
Yeah, both went to bed about 9 o'clock-ish, didn't we?
Yep, slept all the way through. I woke up once for a piss.
Yeah.
But... Other than that, yeah, slept all the fucking way.
I don't know about you, but I always find I sleep better in the winter. And I think it's a bit cooler temperatures. I don't settle the same when it's really hot and sticky. I seem to sleep a few hours, wake up, sleep a few hours, wake up. Not badly, but in the winter time I sleep better. Maybe I'm trying to hibernate.
It could well be. Yeah.
All I know is that I sleep better when I come out camping if I ain't cold.
Yeah, you're already cold. There's nothing
than
worse.
what I do at home. Because normally I'm getting woken up at home by like a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite.
Yeah.
Right, it's bedtime. Just as the owl has kicked off. Don't know if you can hear it or not. The other guys are just settling down. It's been a very good evening. Had a nice fire. Lots of silly chatter, as normal. Very pleasant. And it stayed dry so far. So, with any luck, it'll be dry in the morning for packing up, which will be a blessing. Okay, I shall see you in the morning. Good night. Morning. It's a bit fresh this morning. I had to put an extra layer on. I had a really good sleep though, and I was lovely and warm in that British Army medium weight bag. That is a nice bag, perfect for the hammock. It's about 7:30 I think now, something like that. And of course the first job is make a cup of coffee. I'm trying to stay quiet because I don't think the others are about yet. And disaster. I get my little Trangier rip-off stove out, and in the night when I was packing away in the dark, the little cross piece that sits on the top so your cup can sit on it, I can't find it. It's somewhere on the woodland floor by the fire. I'll find it when it gets a bit brighter in there. So I've had to improvise and put a stack of tent pegs across the stove to keep the cup far enough high so it doesn't put the flame out. The lengths we go to get a cup of coffee first thing in the morning. Never mind. I'll stick a picture up of what I've managed to achieve. Right, coffee time. I'll see you in a bit. Well, finally I have coffee, and I shall let you into a secret that it was Mark boiled water on his stove. My little theory of the tent pegs on top of the Trangier actually was working nicely, but as I walked back into camp, I see it was steaming, the water was ready, and I was about 3 or 4 feet from it, and it rolled off the tent pegs. Bosh! All my freshly boiled water went straight on the floor, so I just had to wait for another 20 minutes to Mark to boil some more up. Bugger. The longest I've ever had to wait for coffee, but it tastes good because of it. Bloody hell.
Because I made it.
Bloody hell. We're just doing the last of the packing. We've had our coffee, had something to eat, and it's time to wander out. It was an enjoyable evening. It was nice to see Roy. I don't catch up with him too often because he lives a bit too far away really, but it was nice to see Roy again. A pleasure with Mark as always, silly bugger. And there's lots of off-camera stuff that won't be going into this video. Yes, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.